Welcome to episode 51 of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, I'm here with Jody.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin.
Hey, everybody.
And Gene.
Hi there.
And I, of course, being John Kroll. Should have said that at the beginning. But so we're here for our 51st episode. And tonight, we're going to get into a pretty fun topic, I think, that'll challenge some of us creatively, which I don't have a creative bone in my body. So I'm hoping you guys can carry this show. But before we get there, we just want to get to know something about each other. So what I wanted to ask is, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? And let's start with Gene.
Yeah, man. So when I was a kid, I wanted to be a fireman. My very favorite show in the world was a show called Emergency. And there was an actor, his last name was Mantooth. What's cooler than that? But it was a great show. And, kind of in the vein of, Adam 12. You remember that show? No?
No.
God, you guys are so young. Anyway, great show. That's what I wanted to do with my life. And for Christmas one year, I got like fire trucks and mask and a fire helmet and, oxygen tank. And so that was it.
That's a good one. I think a lot of kids want to grow up to be firefighters. It's one of those things you see and all they do is help people, right?
And I said firemen because back then on that show, there were no fire women. They were all firemen. But like my wife and daughter watch Chicago Fire, and several of them are female, and they're effective firefighters. So hey, times have changed for the better.
Yeah, true, in a lot of areas. And Kevin, what about you? What did you want to be when you were a kid?
So when I was a little kid, I wanted to be just like my granddad and be a farmer. And he let me steer the International Harvester, doing some hay work and cutting some corn, and that was like the best thing ever. The roughest ride ever. You're hanging on and you're bouncing all around. But after that, I had a little red tractor, and there's no telling how many miles I put on that thing on the dirt.
She thinks my tractor sexy.
I was thinking the exact same song. I was humming it in my head.
Yeah, so that's mine. Definitely farmer, but then realized that you have to have like 10,000 acres to be a farmer now. Not like my granddad's time when you could have 100. So,
okay. So Kevin, has this led to like any type of gardening or anything? Do you do anything?
I can't grow anything.
No.
All I can do is cut things.
Okay. So it's good that you didn't become a farmer and you went the engineering route. Yeah. Okay.
I definitely took the right route.
All right, good. Well, that's good. Jody, what about you?
Okay, so this just goes to show how much you know or don't know your fellow hosts, because Kevin and Gene, I would have thought both of you were going to say a stormtrooper. So I clearly don't know you as well as I thought.
Those aren't real, Jody.
No.
Sure they are. When you're a little kid, you can be anything you want to be. That's what your teachers always told you.
That's true.
I wanted to be like a detective FBI person. I think it was all the Nancy Drew novels and all that good stuff. Like to the point that I actually looked into criminal. I don't even know what it is now, what major it is. Criminal investigation, justice. Maybe as a major in college. So but when I was little, I was, wanted to be Nancy Drew with my little magnifying glass and figure out all the crimes.
That's awesome. I love it.
That is good. I had three things. I really wanted to be all three of these things. Well, four. So first I wanted to be an ice cream man because, I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
You're driving around a truck all day full of ice cream and making little kids happy.
That's true.
Honestly, what is better in the world than that? The smile.
And there's that Van Halen song too.
Ice cream man. Yeah.
Oh man, golly, I need to get on a podcast with some people my own age.
I know the song, Gene.
But yeah, so that's what I originally wanted to be. And then when I got a little bit more mature, I was like, I'm going to be a baseball player and an astronaut. So,
of course.
You can do
at
all
the same time.
At the same time.
Well, yeah, obviously, because, you're going to play baseball from end of March through October, because obviously I'm going to be playing in the World Series every year. And then from mid-October until January, I would fly to space. To the point where I think I mentioned it on an earlier episode, my parents got me a space camp jacket, like an astronaut jacket, because I really wanted to go to space camp. So
is that stolen valor if you didn't really go?
If you're like 5 years old, people usually let it slide. I did get an empty beer bottle thrown at me once because of it. You know,
Bullies.
yeah.
Hey. So you know what? That brings to mind that the '80s Flash Gordon movie. Flash Gordon was the quarterback for the New York Jets, and he was a space traveler. So I mean,
Nice.
it's possible.
Well,
So,
and
yeah.
I mean, you could drive around your ice cream truck to the baseball game and deliver rocket pops.
That's
There
right.
we go.
You know, do them all.
Perfect. Just tie them
Look
all
at
in
that.
together.
Kevin figured it all out for you. It's not too late to switch
Oh, man.
careers, John.
You know, I bet there are some openings in the ice cream truck market. I don't see nearly
Especially
enough
after-
coming through my neighborhood, and it's disappointing in the summer, to say the
Yeah,
least.
for sure.
But also, I mean, how do you even pay them anymore? Because I never have cash on me, like hardly ever. So unless these guys take Venmo at their truck,
I'm sure they take Apple Pay.
And a lot of
Yeah,
the trucks
that's
are
true.
now, instead of driving neighborhood to neighborhood, they just kind of park in areas and have food
Yep.
truck lots. So you kind of have to go to them now, I think.
There's an ice cream food truck in our town that I've seen at different
Same.
events, and they take Square or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, good. So there is still an opportunity out there for me.
Right.
Maybe that could be a good retirement gig. I can start my own ice cream food truck.
There you go.
You know, honestly, I have no self-control, so that would not go well. No, my doctor would put an end to that ASAP.
Yeah.
But all right, so we're talking about what we want to be when we grow up, and tonight's episode we're going to be armchair Imagineers. So I think it's something a lot of kids grow up going to Disney, want to see how things are designed and how some of the theming is done and all this kind of stuff. So tonight we're going to take our crack at that, and what we're going to talk about is movies and shows that we think should have a ride in the parks, and also on the other side of that, some of the rides that we think movies should be created based off of. So things like, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean has been an awesome franchise that came out of a ride. So there's stuff like that. Jungle Cruise had a surprisingly good movie with The Rock that came out a couple years ago. So let's start going through some of that. So let's start, I guess, first with movie to ride, because I think a lot of us had more ideas on that topic. So Kevin, why don't you give us kind of one of yours that you were thinking for a movie to a
I
ride?
can't wait.
So I love video games. They're like whenever I need to burn off a lot of steam, I'll crank up the PlayStation and play video games. One of my favorite recent movies in Disney is Wreck-It Ralph. So I think it would be really cool to have like a immersive Wreck-It Ralph experience where the ride is you kind of go into the games, and so you're in like one scene with Pac-Man, and then you're in there with, you know, Q-Bird and all the different characters and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if it'd be a roller coaster. I don't know if it'd just be like more like a Ratatouille kind of ride. I don't know.
I could even see that being like a goggle type
that's
VR.
Yeah, like a VR ride.
You're walking around almost.
Right.
See, I thought when you were going with that, I thought you were going to talk about like Candy Crush and driving in the car and making it be some sort
you
of
could do
race
that too.
car.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Not that I'm trying to rain on your parade. That's when you said Wreck-It Ralph. I was like, oh, it's going to be the race car. He's going to go with driving like Penelope does, driving through with her Candy Crush car.
That would be a very good addition to that.
Okay. And that would be cool. And Kevin, I think you're right. Like with Wreck-It Ralph, it's such a fun movie.
It is.
And it doesn't get any representation other than the occasional Epcot meet and greet.
Right. But just the old school, you know, 80s video games, the old arcade kind of thing. And it'd be fun to walk in, you know, like the pre-show would be like an old arcade and you like plug into the ride. It'd be kind of cool.
That would be pretty sweet. Wow.
If they can make Tron a ride, they can make Wreck-It Ralph.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
Oh, and opening, that's opening up on April 4th. So I don't know if we've talked since that was announced, but
no.
Yeah, April 4th, we've got one of the movies coming to life in Magic Kingdom. So that should be really cool. Yeah. And God, that ride is so awesome. So I can't.
You've ridden it before, right?
Yeah. I rode it in Shanghai 3 or 4 times that day and just loved it. Just amazing ride. So I'm pumped. So Jody, all right. So you mentioned Vanellope and the Candy Crush driving, but what are you thinking in terms of other movies that need to become rides?
So I desperately think that Epcot needs a couple more attractions and rides, and so I have 2 for the Epcot Pavilion. So I'm going to give you 2 answers. I'm cheating right away. So one of our favorite movies and one that my teenage daughter really loves is Luca. I don't know if anyone saw that, but it's kind of based on Italy, and it's a rather new movie. But they're driving the Vespas, and I think that would be some sort of cool ride to make in Italy, because, there's not a lot in the Italy pavilion besides really good food, which is great, but not a lot for the kids to do. So I'd like to take the back part of that pavilion, push it out, and put a Luca ride back there. At first I thought maybe something with the water, like but then, nobody wants to be wet all day. So yeah, we're going to go with the Vespas. And then the second one I had is not to get rid of the beloved Grand Fiesta Tour, but to add, in addition to, in the Mexico pavilion, something with the Coco theme. And again, I don't want to get rid of Grand Fiesta because I love it. It's one of my faves. So, make the back of the pavilion bigger, because there's space back there, right? We run past it all the time, and do something with Coco. But this is where I got stuck. So this is where I need your help. I don't know what to do with Coco. Like, it's got the great music, and it's got, I don't know what you could do in a ride or an attraction, or maybe a show. Maybe it's just a show. I don't know, because the music's so good. But I'd love to see something. I just think Epcot needs more. And so those are two ideas, to take some movies and they fit in the two different countries and put them in Epcot.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, Epcot does need more, and that's a cool idea because it works so well with Ratatouille adding on to France. It really made that pavilion just complete and way more awesome. And that's the technical term, I think. Just way more awesome. Yeah.
Way more awesome.
But yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Gene, what are you gonna take from a movie and turn it into a ride?
So I got a couple things. Let me first of all, so my favorite part of Epcot is South America. And so I think that maybe the best thing to be would to have maybe an Encanto like family sing along. I mean, how fun would that be? Everybody loves the music. You go in there with your family, everybody's singing along with live characters, interactive because everybody's involved, pulling people up on stage. I think that would be just a huge hit, and not very expensive. I mean, it's not a ride. There's not mechanic stuff involved. There's not animatronics. No CGI. It'd be great. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Frozen sing-along is so popular in Hollywood studios that I think everybody loves the music from Encanto. I think that's a great idea, Gene.
Yeah. And Gene, I've heard that soundtrack roughly 20,000 times. So I'll be out there singing along.
Easily.
Yeah, I have two more. I don't know how we're structuring this, but
you can let it fly, man.
You want me to let it fly? So I've shared this before, but I think it's such a great idea, and it fits this show like it fit a previous one. In the same vein, Hello There, the Obi-Wan Kenobi musical. I just think, how could you go wrong?
You can't. It's impossible.
Of course, it would be in Hollywood studios, and probably would have to boot out like Beauty and the Beast or something. I don't know, Philharmonic, something. I don't even know what's there, but something, because there's not room.
So you wouldn't keep it in Galaxy's Edge? You would take over the
Galaxy's Edge eventually is going to expand into that area.
Oh yeah, it'll take over the Muppets. The Muppets will move somewhere else.
Uh-oh.
The Muppets aren't going away.
Jody's going to fight.
Wait.
They're just getting moved.
What if it was a Muppets Obi-Wan Kenobi musical?
That's the perfect transition.
Oh my God.
It is. That's great. Thanks, Kevin. That's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, that was my idea all along. No way.
So good.
We're going to have to put your guys' addresses at the end of this so Iger can send you all the royalties.
All the checks.
That would be actually pretty good. That would be fun.
Yeah. Muppets Anything is awesome though.
Yeah, the Muppets Haunted Mansion that they did? No.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I loved it. And Muppets Christmas Carol, anything Muppets, but I love the Muppets. So.
Treasure Island is way better with the Muppets.
Exactly.
Everything's better with the Muppets.
Yes.
So my next idea, I don't know if y'all have seen that new Avatar movie, The Way of Water, but an Avatar ride, I think. I don't know what that would look like, but some kind of an Avatar ride. Just joking.
Kevin, you want to tell Gene about your Avatar experience? You just wrote it for the first time.
For the first time, yeah.
How was it?
It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good ride.
It's really cool.
No, my real next idea is I actually haven't watched the new series, but there's a new National Treasure series, and all of my ideas, I love thrill rides, but these are like more experiences. Some sort of I haven't fleshed this out entirely. That's why I rely on you guys, but some kind of an interactive national treasure experience for families, maybe geared towards little kids, maybe preteen kids, where they're able to follow clues, solve something like the movies.
I was thinking of that too. Like what I was thinking of, maybe a little different than your idea, but National Treasure, and it would be an escape room.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking that. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because it's so like puzzle based and everything, both the movies and the series. But yeah, that's funny that you brought that up because I was thinking the same thing.
Great minds and all that, John.
Yeah, very intelligent.
That's
dudes
all everything. Oh no, you've got something in Hollywood. I thought you were still on Epcot. I'm like, that's a lot for Epcot, Gene.
It needs more.
It does.
I've got more ideas. When we flipped the script here, I've got some other Epcot ideas. So, but that's all I've got as far as making movies or TV shows. And
those are good.
Yeah, I had both of those.
Man,
on mine.
Yeah, I had that one. So I have a lot of ideas. I don't know if you guys want me to just run through them or.
Yeah, man. Riff.
Okay.
Well, I only gave my Epcot ones. I have others too.
Okay, so we'll keep going around then. One of the things
I'll have to come up with more then.
All right.
Uh-oh, so start Googling.
Yeah. And just fine. Okay. So you guys know the dance parties they have in Magic Kingdom, right? Over in Tomorrowland, they've got the stage.
Boy, do I.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna bring Powerline from a Goofy movie to have a dance party over there. So it's gonna be a Goofy movie themed dance party with Powerline singing. So it's going to be really fun for the kids. I mean, honestly, most of the kids probably haven't seen a Goofy movie, but I'm sure all the dads will, and we'll love it. And I'll drag my kids out there to dance. So that was one that I thought needs it, because the Goofy movie, such a great movie, doesn't get any love. So I would like to see that. Let's see. I also really think that I think we mentioned this on another episode when we were talking about like redoing rides, but and I think I'm stealing this from Marlessa actually, who said it in our comments like months and months ago. But turn Magic Carpet Ride into a Flight of Passage style, or turn the Magic Carpet with Aladdin into a ride that's like Flight of Passage style, where you're on the magic carpet, you've got like the goggles and you're flying through. So it's going to be that style of ride, but with the magic carpet trying to get out of the Cave of Wonders. So that's one of the ones I really, really, really want to see. I know Aladdin already has a ride, but I mean, we all know it's just one to suck up a little bit of the people and keep the lines down, right? So yeah. Sure. All right. So Jody, you mentioned you only did your Epcot ones. What else do you got for other parks?
Well, so my daughter wants something in Magic Kingdom with Rapunzel, but I have no ideas for it. So I just, do you, John? Let me hear. Because I don't think a princess should just have a bathroom. I'm sorry.
No. This is my wife's favorite movie. She Tangled? She loves Tangled. Rapunzel's her favorite.
And the series? Does she love Tangled, the series?
Yeah, we've seen that too. So yeah, it's a big thing. But no, I have two ideas for Tangled. One of them is a pre-show for the fireworks where they release all those candle. I don't even know what they're called, but the box.
The paper lanterns.
Yeah, the paper lanterns that float up. So they would have thousands of those kind of floating up. They can do it with drones or whatever to be more environmentally friendly. But that's what you're gonna do.
Forest fires.
Yeah. Try not to set Central Florida on fire every night with 2,000 lanterns coming up. But that was one of them. The other one was I want a roller coaster that's got like real sweeping lines to it. Kind of like Rapunzel's hair, like it's going to be, it's so long. You're not going to have these short little things. You're going to have these big hills and it's going to be real smooth and kind of go around, that type of thing. So I want to see a Tangled roller coaster. Because I picture it like when she's dancing in the tower and singing at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
See, I thought taking the frying pan and doing it like the whack-a-mole, and you
that would be so fun.
That would be fun.
But you could do it in an arcade. You could do it
in the line. You could set that up in the line when you're waiting.
That's true.
Oh,
that's something you do while you're waiting.
Yeah.
You take Rapunzel's frying pan. I mean, if you're going to touch the honey wall, you might as well touch a frying pan. So.
The honey wall. Oh. All right.
I'm glad you saw the Rapunzel issue, because she's like, there's got to be something with Rapunzel in Magic Kingdom, but I just couldn't think of anything.
Every once in a while, they have a meet and greet with her at that where the princesses meet next to the castle, kind of. But other than that, there's nothing.
I know. Except for a
Bummer.
bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, it is a pretty cool bathroom, though.
It is, but
Yeah.
have you guys ever looked for the hidden Pascals in that area?
No.
Yeah, so when you're walking from the bathroom down to like when you're heading down to Haunted Mansion, and there's a little bridge type area. There's a tiny little stream water, and there's like 10 or 11 hidden Pascals in there. You can find them all.
Really?
So if you're like our family and one person has to go to the bathroom, and then 2 minutes later someone else has to go, and then someone needs to fill their water bottle, or I don't know, you're there for 15 minutes. It's a good way to spend some time.
Pass the time.
Yeah,
that's a good tip. I didn't know about that, and we love.
It's really fun.
Nice. Okay, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Kevin, what else do you have?
So I've got a couple. One is kind of like along the same lines as what Gene said about National Treasure, and they've kind of added this already, but I think they could flesh it out a little more and do a DuckTales experience a little bit more, maybe with the escape room too. I don't know, like a treasure hunt kind of thing. I think they kind of added that to Epcot. I haven't done that yet, so haven't really seen what that is. I think it was just kind of a redo of Phineas and Ferb, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. But maybe flesh that out a little bit more.
I heard it's a lot more with your app and with the Play Disney app, and so you spend a lot of time looking at it and looking up. And people said it's rather laborious, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of reading and a lot of backstory and a lot of figure things out. Where hopefully they're going to sharpen that up a little bit, because
I'd rather do it with a piece of paper and just
Yeah, I haven't heard great reviews of it yet, which makes me sad. So,
oh man,
my other big one is, there's already an experience with this, but I really think it'd be cool to have a ride, an Indiana Jones ride.
Have you been to Disneyland?
No.
Oh, they have one out there.
Oh, well then, I guess I've already done that.
No, because I thought the same thing. Because I love Indiana Jones as well. I think it was just kids our age got a kick out of that when we were little. But yeah, there's an Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland.
Okay.
Back when they had the when Hollywood Studios actually had the, what was it called, tour?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, backstage.
Backlot tour.
Backlot tour.
Yeah.
When they had the whole thing with Indiana Jones and Golden Girls and all that stuff. That was awesome. I loved that.
Wait, there was a Golden Girls show?
Yes. You take them to the Golden Girls house.
Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers even came out.
Wow.
When I was there. I didn't even know they were Disney at the time. I guess they just showed up.
Wow. That's awesome. Huh. Well, that's cool. And okay.
And then the other one is they don't do, National Geographic is kind of a new thing added to Disney Plus. I think having something more of an educational thing, maybe at Epcot or at Animal Kingdom, to kind of go into some of that a little bit more, and more like what you get in a science, like an adventure science center kind of thing, where they explore some of that, talk about the animals, and a little bit more educational. I don't know how well that would go over, but I think it'd be kind of cool to have some of the National Geographic properties there represented.
That would be cool. Yeah. All right, Gene, do you have any other ideas? Anything else you want to share from movies to rides?
Well, no, I don't. I was trying to come up with something else, but no.
So, okay, I have two more. One of them is there's something similar in Disney Shanghai called like Adventure Trails or Challenge Trails. It's basically like a mini ropes course in the park. So I want to have that, but it's going to be Tarzan themed. So you're actually going to be like swinging from place to place and climbing. There may be some safety issues, but as I've said in the past, that's an Iger problem or a Disney legal problem. Yeah, that's an attorney problem. That's not a John problem.
So you're saying like a Ninja Warrior kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah, where it's like you're climbing on ropes and you're going over stuff and through stuff. Cool. Like kind of how Tarzan swings through the jungle. I think that would be really fun. And you could probably even take out Swiss Family Treehouse and just put it there, or Tom Sawyer Island. Those are the two places I'm thinking for where this guy could go. So in Magic Kingdom. Okay, so the last thing I have is we need to be able to meet Bluey. It's I, honestly, like, it's the best show there is ever.
It's a good show.
Yeah, and I want to hang out with Bandit, so we need to have a meet and greet for the dads to meet Bandit.
Yeah.
somewhere.
I thought you wanted a meet and greet for the dads to meet Jasmine.
Well, of course I do. She is my favorite princess, and I think that would be a good boys' night out to meet Jasmine. That character experience would get a lot of people, I think. But no, I think it would be fun to meet Bandit and have him kind of joke with people and stuff. So yeah, that's what I want. I think every dad would love that.
I would love that.
Yeah,
it would just be awesome. All right, so are we good with?
I have something for.
Oh, you have more.
Yes.
Okay.
So I feel like Epcot needs the most because there's a lot of space and a lot of walking around there, but I don't feel like when you look at the amount of attractions, it's like 4. Yeah. So I think Epcot needs a little love. But my other park that I think that needs a little bit more attention is Animal Kingdom, because that's also a park that has a lot of space and a lot of area, but I don't feel like it has enough to do. So I think they need to do something with the Jungle Book there. And
that's cool.
Like where you where maybe there's a ride that makes you feel as fast as a cheetah, or like what would it feel like to ride on an elephant? So it's, I don't know, like just some sort of something with the Jungle Book where that's a tie-in. So I've got the kind of the beginning of the idea, and then I need the really creative people to take it and blow it out. But I think that they could do something there at Animal Kingdom with Jungle Book.
So, hey, Jody, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I understand that when we're brainstorming, we don't say bad things about any ideas, and I think it's a great idea. This is not a bad thing about any of our ideas. But do we think that Disney is open or is ever going to do anything with older movies? Do you think everything moving forward is going to be new stuff? Like, I don't know. My mind is blank right now, but anything. I mean, Tron is not new.
You mean Tom Sawyer? Like Tom Sawyer? Tom Sawyer, Swiss Family Robinson, stuff like that.
I mean, Jungle Book,
or Lady and the Tramp,
Lady and the Tramp, or anything. I mean, we've given ideas over. We have given $1 million ideas on this podcast for, we've just thrown them out there that Disney could take and run with it and never have to pay us a dime. I mean, could make so much money. But a lot of them have been, based on older, franchises or whatever. That's not the right word, but older things, older movies, older, people. You know what I mean? I don't know how open they are to that, but I'm just curious what you guys think.
I think that Disney wants the newer movies because that's what the little kids are into that are going to be talking their parents into bringing them. Yeah. But I think, they need to bring some. Like,
but who's got
Mary
the money?
Poppins?
Who's got the money?
Right. It's the parents. Unless the kids are YouTube stars, then they've got the money.
Right. This is true.
But I think it would be awesome to bring like a Mary Poppins ride in, stuff like that, because
there was a Mary Poppins movie not too long ago.
That's true. Yeah.
And there was a live Jungle Book movie not too long ago.
But I think they could take some of those old movies and it would get, because they're on Disney Plus now, and because there's such a huge, that's such a big part of their business model is Disney Plus. They could do a whole big thing on Disney Plus, like get the behind the scenes of the, I don't know, the Lady and the Tramp experience at Animal Kingdom. And this is why you want to book a trip, because we're, so I think they could do enough promo on it and enough plug with Disney Plus, which again is everything I hear. Like that's where the bottom line is right now. That's where they're spending a lot of their money and a lot of their dollars. So,
and a lot of movies are not happening now because at least with Star Wars, there's been no movie announced at all, but you got all these show after show after show, and everything's going to the series.
And also, I don't know about I don't have little kids, but I have a teenage girl, and she'll play music and like Fleetwood Mac. And it's because it's on TikTok or, I remember a few years ago, I was somewhere and I heard some teenagers talking like, I'm more of a Phoebe. She's more of a Rachel and she's more of a, Monica. And I'm like, these girls are talking about a show from, however long ago and teenage girls. So what I'm saying is, retro's cool. It goes through, cycles. And so I don't know if Disney's not doing stuff with these older properties, they're they're making a mistake.
Maybe that's why they don't have my beloved Muppets in enough places.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Mhm.
Well, you know what they need to do is they need to bring Muppet Babies back to get these kids hooked on the Muppets young.
There
And
you
then
go.
they'll grow
That's
up like
you
we
know
all
that's
do, right?
you know that's the answer is you get kids hooked on stuff
Yeah.
young. You know it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can use that in nefarious ways and you can use it in good ways.
Right.
And
Good
we're
and
going
bad,
the
right?
good path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sugar, Muppets, whatever.
Right.
Star Wars.
Exactly. So yeah, okay. So we've had a lot of good ideas, I think, about movies going to rides. Now we're gonna flip that and talk about rides that exist that we think movies or shows or something need to be created off of. So does anybody have one they want to kick us off with?
Well, I want to start by saying I think they did a fantastic job with Jungle Book. So I was a little worried when that movie came out, like
Jungle Cruise?
Jungle Cruise, sorry,
Oh.
Jungle Cruise. See, I'm back on Jungle Book. I thought that movie, I thought they did a great job with little touches of the ride and then expanding on it. I thought it was a clever movie, but again, I was at first when I thought about it, I'm like, oh no, they're gonna ruin it. You know, that ride's been in Adventureland since the beginning of time, and they're gonna make a movie out of it, and no one's gonna, it's gonna be terrible. So I thought it was great. So if they can keep that quality and that idea without ruining the ride, then I'm all for it. So I have one, and that's it, because I struggled with this. I couldn't think of like a lot of rides that I really wanted to turn into a movie that either haven't already been done or haven't already been done poorly. Because there are some that have been really bad.
Like
the
Haunted
Four
Mansion?
Yeah, the Haunted Mansion movie. Oh,
Yeah.
that was not good. Thank God they didn't ruin the ride.
It was better with Muppets, but
It is better with Muppets.
Oh my God. Could you guys imagine a Tower of Terror movie with Muppets?
That'd be great.
It would be amazing.
Yes, Gonzo would be great. So the only one I came up with is Expedition Everest.
that's a good one.
I think they could absolutely do this whole thing about like climbing and getting up to the mountain and finding the Yeti and the Yeti scaring you and falling back, going back down the mountain. And I think it could be a really fun, exciting movie without ruining the ride. Maybe Disco Yeti would make an appearance. I don't know. But I think Expedition Everest could be a really cool thriller, adventurous type movie that I think people would like. So that's
Hey, go ahead. Sorry, Kevin.
I was going to say they'd have to show a scene where they go to the Yeti's cave and it's full of hair ties.
Yeah,
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's how they get the Yeti, is they all throw the hair ties on
There
it.
you go.
That's the bait to draw him out.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Hey, I don't mean to go backwards, but we had somebody actually make a couple of comments, and I want to share their comments. Facebook user, which I'm going to guess Lonnie, says Animal Kingdom needs Wakanda Land. And he said that before, and I think that's a great idea.
I don't know how you would think that's Lonnie then. I mean, we've never heard that idea before. Ever.
Well, he also said another movie that should be made into a ride. He said Song of the South, and then he said, just kidding, too soon.
Oh, we're not even days out from we're not even a week out from Splash
And he
Mountain
shared
Cruise.
another one, but I'm gonna it's actually one of my ideas, so I'm not gonna share his idea because it's still mine.
All right.
I'll give you all the credit for it.
Yeah. We don't have any proof Lonnie said it first anyway. So
Yeah, because it just says Facebook user. So.
Yeah. All right. So Gene, you mentioned you have an idea. What are we? Well, wait. Actually, first, Jody. So you were talking about Expedition Everest. I think Kevin, you were shaking your head too. I think I had the same idea. I think it would be great, but I'm thinking of it. I think a little different than you are. I'm thinking of it almost as a comedy with Disco Yeti being there. But I really I've been thinking about this all day. I want Nick Offerman.
That's great. Yeah.
To be like an explorer going out after the Yeti. And it's going to be like this goofy movie where, because he's like a real woodworker in real life and stuff. He would find a tree and carve out weapons out of it and go after the Yeti. And he'd be like this survivalist. And it's going to be kind of on the more silly side.
So do we think the Yeti is bad?
I like that.
Do we think what?
Do you think so? You said carve out weapons. Do we think the Yeti is bad and like coming after us and wanting to eat humans?
Oh, he's misunderstood. Yeah. He's misunderstood for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's going to be like the Beast and Gaston, or maybe Nick Offerman's going to get out there and realize that the Yeti, he's just a guy trying to live his life in the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's just tired of hair ties.
And then they compare how to make chairs and things like that,
Yes. Yeah, they talk about woodworking, and you get, a great furniture company out of it. They both become rich. And then later in the movie, you've got the Yeti wearing a tuxedo because he's rich. Huh?
That's how IKEA was started. Nick Offerman and the Yeti.
That's pretty great.
That is really good, actually. Oh, man. All right. Sorry.
Oh, here's John's giggles.
Oh, wait. Okay. I'm good.
What? Hey, Lonnie. So Lonnie's also said, I think the Yeti's misunderstood. He just likes to dance and party. What if the Yeti just, that's all he cared about? Like, like Happy Feet, right? He just wants to dance.
That's his
all
sole
he cares
purpose.
about his dance. To the music of Irene Cara's Flashdance.
Wow. Oh, Lonnie. Those are pretty solid. Gene, you should have just read those as if they were yours.
Well, I added. Okay, he didn't say that, he didn't say
all of it.
Happy Feet and all of that, but I risked.
All right. Kevin, what do you got for a ride that you want to change into a movie?
So no big surprise for me. One of the things that I would have always wanted to see more content of is Figment. So having a Figment series or cartoon series or something like that, just to learn a little bit more about Figment and have the Dreamcatcher, what's his name? Dreamfinder, and have him involved and do like a kids show, teach about imagination and have it a little bit educational, but not too educational, where kids would see between the lines and realize they're learning something and want to turn it off. So
yeah, because that wouldn't catch on. But you can hide it in there.
Yeah,
you don't want to bait and switch them.
No, nope.
That's a good one, Kevin. I didn't think about that, but that's a great one to turn into a movie or a show or a series.
And then maybe that could bring more of that Figment into the parks too.
Figment needs some love.
Yeah, for sure. Time. I know it's one of the best rides too, but it does probably need some adjustments or refurbishment. Sure. But yeah, that would be awesome to see more Figment content for sure.
That's a great idea.
One of the things I'm thinking, so Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, I might be one of the only people in the world that likes it, but I love it.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, you guys do too? Okay, good. Because it's hilarious. So what I want to do is I want to have like a series of shorts on Disney Plus where it's like a mock stand-up comedian type of American Idol type show, but it's fake and it's based with all the Monsters Inc. characters. So, they're coming out just like they do in the pre-show with Roz and Mike and, but they're doing that every week and then they're voting people off. And it's like, if they're really good, everyone laughs. And if they're really bad, everyone throws like tomatoes or something at them. And it's all cartoon based, but all they do is tell dad jokes. So it's basically like our Quacking Up with the Ducks, but with Monsters Inc. characters and on Disney Plus.
I love it.
I think that's really fun. I would totally watch that.
It would be fun. And it wouldn't have to be a super long show. It could be shorts or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like 5-10 minute, maybe like Bluey episodes, right? Where they're like not very long and you can get 3 or 4 of them in a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see that. But another one I want to see is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So I know they have Snow White has her own movie, but I want to see the backstory on the dwarves. Like, where did they come from? How did they come to work in a mine? Why is Grumpy grumpy? Why is Dopey dopey? I want to know these things. And I think that we need to do that either through a series of movies, but I don't know how many people are going to pay 7 times to see, each one of those, especially with Sleepy. I mean, that movie's just not going to be interesting, right? But
everybody gets a pillow walking to the movie theater.
Yeah.
A little lovey. You get a little lovey.
So like a full-length movie for each one?
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying maybe it's got to be a group movie and we're showing how they all come together.
What?
I mean, so maybe this is a great idea. I'm not knocking it. I mean, you got to think this through. I mean, it's like you got to put the thought into this beforehand, like they did with the Marvel movies. You start off with the one. You got to catch them like they did with Iron Man, right? You catch them with, I don't know, Dopey, I don't know. And then you add, and then you got a sleeper in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Nothing to
there,
feed
but
them.
yeah, you got to think it through and make sure they're all connected, and and then you bring them together at the end, right?
Yeah, and
To
how they all
live in the same house, right?
Yeah,
and stumble
right.
upon Snow White. That's a great idea, man.
But why are they so happy working in a mine? Right?
Well,
I mean, we need to know. They're whistling on their way to work.
Was there not some kind of a series where they kind of went into that a little bit, where they took
7D or something,
and they smashed them into dust, and the dust became like what Tinkerbell and all of them used?
Oh, I don't remember that, but I do remember like a number of years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there was a show on Disney, Disney Junior or Disney XD called like the 7D, and it was about the dwarves. But I didn't watch most of it. But I want to see these guys. How well I'm really concerned with them.
It'd be like a 90s MTV where they all live together and they kind of like interview them.
Yes. Yes.
So what do you think?
Like,
what do you think about
happy? He's always happy.
The real world dwarves.
The real world.
And Lonnie said the dwarves were indentured servants that were forced to work in the mines.
But why are they so happy? They're whistling. They're going to work underground with a pickaxe, and these guys are whistling on the way to and from. Something's going on in those mines, and we need to know.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, Lonnie also said the Figment show, you could do his backstory. They can make it really dark, where Figment was hooked on drugs and Dreamfinder was his sponsor and got him clean. Wow. Lonnie not being on the show, he's getting edgy in the comments.
Lonnie's on fire tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Keyboard warrior.
Figment with the bloodshot eyes needs some
Figment. I just imagine him under a bridge with like a 40 in a bag.
Yep. Selling plasma.
Yeah. Hey, you can get good money.
Is it coming out rainbow?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, Figment, how far he has fallen. Poor guy. See, that's what I mean. 1 minute you got your own ride in Epcot. Next minute you're on the street sleeping under a bridge. Man, another Chapek casualty.
Yeah.
Wow.
That guy just leaves a wake of destruction in his,
Yeah, in his path. Yeah, just like a hurricane. Rock you like a hurricane. Sorry.
Oh, that's funny. I was going Hamilton singing the hurricane.
Oh.
And you go.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You can have two great songs that reference hurricanes.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of Hamilton, I'll give my next one.
Okay.
So I think
please tell me it has to do with the
rides that need to be movies. It's not really a ride, but Hall of Presidents is an experience, I guess. Maybe turn that into a movie to kind of make it a little more interesting, to learn more about the history and things like that, because there's not enough of that.
Kevin, with Muppets.
With Muppets.
Can we make Hall of Presidents with Muppets? Because then we'd be interested. Like Sam Eagle would welcome you to the Hall of Presidents, and then all the Muppets could be.
Oh my God!
A Muppet of each individual president.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about this before. I think an idea.
It sounds familiar. Okay, I was gonna say you have like
an
Kermit with a beard and a stovetop pipe hat.
Yeah, for sure.
But they'd have to have music by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And kind of mix it up a little bit. Let him write some stuff.
Can't you see? What are their names? Waldorf and oh my gosh, my mind is
Sadler and Waldorf.
Sadler and Waldorf. They could be presidents. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those two guys, they should narrate everything.
Yeah,
if they could narrate the whole history of the country, and you just have different Muppets jump in as president.
There you go.
I said, "What president would Animal be?"
I'm not commenting.
I'm pleading the fifth.
I know, me too.
Oh man! Stuff. All right, so I like where this is going. I like that we're bringing more Muppets into the parks.
This is turning Muppets.
Yeah, you can really do that with literally anything. Add Muppets and it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! All right. Does anybody else have any other shows that they think or movies that they think could be?
I haven't given any.
Yeah, Gene hasn't had a turn.
I've just
you haven't. You've been reading Lonnie's. Okay,
reading Lonnie's and and just maximizing y'alls. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
Yeah.
So my first one is, you mentioned that treehouse, man. I love that treehouse. It's so cool, and all the different things that somebody had great ideas with the treehouse. I think they should make a movie out of that.
Yeah, they should.
Wow.
Yeah. Or maybe several.
Yeah. Yeah, Gene, I think you should propose this and write
That's a good idea.
Maybe they get stuck on the beach. I don't know.
That's a good idea. Maybe so.
There's people and then they're stuck there and they build this amazing treehouse.
Yeah.
And maybe pirates come.
Maybe fight off some people.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. That's a good idea.
Big.
So that's one. That's my first idea.
With Muppets.
Everything's better with Muppets. So I haven't fleshed either one of these two out, but one of them, I mean, it's kind of a plot anyway, but Dinosaur, such a dumb ride. And Lonnie always makes me ride that, man. Such a dumb ride. But I mean, they could, why has nobody made a movie about that?
Maybe that could be good. You got the time travel element.
Yeah.
You've got dinosaurs. You've got asteroids.
You got that guy from CSI. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if Armageddon can make as much money as it did about an end of the world movie,
that's a great movie.
That one should be able to.
Did you not shed a tear in Armageddon?
Everybody did. Come on.
I mean, who didn't, right?
Right. You got that Steven Tyler or Aerosmith song playing in the background.
The animal crackers. Yeah, man. It's all great.
Man.
Which brings me to my next ride
to
make into a movie, Mission Space. One of my favorite rides. And there's not much of a plot. You just mash some buttons and lose your stomach.
Some acting in it though, right? There is a little bit of video.
Yep. There's Lieutenant Dan. I think that could be a great movie. I mean, Armageddon style. I mean, you could do whatever you need to do.
Wow.
Great movie.
I like it.
You like it. I've given nothing except I love the ride, and so it needs to be made into a movie.
Just trying to figure it out.
But I really think we should workshop your Swiss Family Robinson Muppets movie.
Yeah.
I think that should be the next.
Oh my gosh. Lonnie just said Gene proved that there's no originality in Hollywood. He's remaking Swiss Family Robinson. Thanks there, Captain Obvious.
Oh man.
Gene's next idea: make a movie out of the Tron ride. I love Swiss Family Robinson. Actually, I made my kids watch it. Like, oh, come on, Dad. I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Anybody have any other movies they think or rides they think need to be turned into movies? No?
I mean, I have written down Rock and Roller Coaster, but I really can't think of any kind of.
I had one more, but I don't really have it. I had Big Thunder and do like a Western kind of thing.
Oh.
That'd be kind of cool because there's not a lot of Disney Westerns, but kind of bring some of that in. I don't really know how that would be, but it would be kind of cool.
As long as you have the guy in the tub spinning around at the bottom,
there you go.
That's all we need. Yeah.
You can do it sort of steampunk, like the Wild Wild West and Will Smith.
There you go. With Muppets.
With Muppets, for sure.
Oh, I have Kermit as a cowboy.
There you go.
Fozzie Bear would be the bartender, I think.
For sure.
He would be running the saloon. Yeah. And telling jokes as he's giving out drinks. Yeah. Waka waka.
Waka waka waka.
This could go somewhere. God, we're going to have a Muppets franchise here. It's going to be bigger than Marvel. Yeah.
And I would actually watch it.
Me too.
See? That'd be great. And I wouldn't have to know which order to watch it, like chronological or when the person came out. You all give me too many notes with Marvel stuff.
Machete order.
The only other one,
the Muppet Saga franchise edition. I mean, Machete edition. Sorry, I just missed that. I just ruined that. Cut that out, Jeff.
Oh boy. So the other one I was thinking of is more of like a serious show that would be probably like a National Geographic, Disney Plus type thing. But it's a small world, but you take kids from all these different regions, and you put them kind of in like a little cohort or like a class, and they travel together to each of their home towns, villages, whatever, and kind of see how each other live and what their culture's like. What?
And then you force them into one country and make them all do the same thing.
I was just thinking, putting them in a room and make them listen to that song over and over and over and over and over again.
They all have to do the can dance.
Oh no, it's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be a learning experience for these kids to see how the rest of the world is, because we all grew up sheltered in our own town.
Yeah.
So it'll kind of give like a study abroad program, but for like 5 to 10-year-olds, where they're
and then they vote one person out every week.
Yes, and then you're left with the ultimate children's champion. Yeah.
So it's like Hunger
with
Games.
Muppets,
but it's also like Hunger Games, yeah,
yeah,
or Squid Game.
It's a small world because it always ends in one.
Yeah, it keeps shrinking.
They could have that tagline. There can be only one.
There can be only one.
Oh, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, we're going off the rails on this. This is later.
John's advocating for child labor. That's what Lonnie said. John's next idea: have them fight for resources or volunteer for tribute.
So,
and then with Muppets.
Child labor, though, is very cost effective, and they have nimble little hands, so they can do a lot more fine tasks than an adult could. So, I mean, economically, it makes sense. I actually answered an essay question in grad school for my MBA with something similar to that, and it did not do me any favors. But that's neither here nor there. All right, so. Do we have any other ideas for rides to movies, movies to rides? I think we came up with some pretty good ones. Mm-hmm. I was a little nervous how this episode was going to go, and I think hopefully Jeff can work his magic and it'll turn out great. But I think we had some good ideas.
We did.
All right. Well, I hope everybody listening right now, before you start giggling too much to forget to do this, go over to iTunes, go over to Stitcher, and give us a 5-star review. Let us know what we're doing right, and try to pump us up a little bit. And then after that, go join our Facebook group, Disney with the Ducks, so that we can keep this conversation going. So come tell us. I'm sure there's many movies we missed that should become rides, many rides we've missed that should become movies. So come tell us about it. Tell us what you think of our ideas. And don't forget, to send us the royalty checks, of course. But, so after you're done doing that, now you unpause it, and we're going to move into quacking up with the ducks. All right, so let's start with Kevin.
Okay, I got a question. So, who was the largest knight at King Arthur's Round Table?
I don't know.
Circumference.
Geometry joke. I love it.
John, you're so easily entertained.
I am. It's terrible. And you know what's even better is when I get nervous, I giggle too. So if I'm like in a weird situation, I'll just laugh.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's not a bad thing.
All right, Gene, do you have a joke prepared for us this week?
No, I don't. I'm just not good with jokes. But I did want to give a little. I wanted to go back to something a little story I told y'all before. I told you before that I got caught, stealing calendars, and do you guys remember me telling you about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I forgot to tell you that even before I was caught, when I was looking through the calendar, I realized that there was a month that was missing. The 5th month was missing. I was dismayed to find that out.
Dismayed. Wow, we're on fire tonight. Jody, we got to keep this train rolling.
Gosh, I hope so. All right. So I told you guys I used to like Nancy Drew novels. So what type of shoes do thieves wear?
I know.
Sneakers.
Nice.
Oh man. So I've been watching a lot of the show called Welcome to Wrexham about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying the Welsh soccer club or football club, Wrexham AFC. And it kind of got me thinking about, like, geography wise, where is Wales and how is it, how is it related to England? Where are those at? So it got me thinking, like, how do you get to Wales in a car? You start in England and drive west. I probably the pre-story did not match because I was using the wrong Wales, right? Yeah, I know. But how do you get to Wales in a car? You start in England and drive west. But really, I do love that show. Anyway, wow. Well, that went over like a lead balloon. All right. Well, for all of us, I think the only thing really left at this point is to say Kwaherini.
Word.
Bye, friends.
See y'all next time.
iPad, but we rarely. I'm the only one that watches TV, and I'm not going to turn on Bluey and watch Bluey by myself. I mean, that's weird.
But, yeah,
it's not a movie.
That's weird.
That's why I said we should have
I've never done that.
They don't want to know that, though. I don't even know that. I'm 47 years old.